Welcome back. This is John Locke, and I wanted to make another video today. Now in the previous video, we talked about piggyback SEO, how you can use other platforms to get more leads by leveraging their standing in the search engines. And I wanted to talk about how, or at least ask the question, are we moving toward a pay-to-play world when it comes to search engine marketing? SEO, search engine marketing, just internet marketing in general seems to be really cyclical. In the early days of the web, it was very much like that. If you wanted to, have a high-profile thing, you would join a bunch of directories, pay to be listed, pay to have that exposure. And over the last few years, there's all these different startups that are basically specialized directories for certain industries. Now, some of them have been very successful, and some of them are not that bad. I know some people get leads from them. Now, as we talked about in the previous video, Yelp, sometimes that is a good place to get leads. Sometimes it's not. It depends on what industry you're in. There's other specialized sites where you can definitely get leads. There's all these different ones like Home Advisor. If you're in manufacturing, thomasnet and MFG are probably the two biggest ones. IQS used to be a big one. It's still important, but probably thomasnet is the one that actually ranks best in natural SEO. At least I see it a couple, sometimes. The other ones, not as much. But pay to play, for most people who are businesses, you're probably wondering, I'm looking at the search results, and it used to be, I'd see maybe 2, maybe 3 like ads at the top of the page, and now Google they have 4 ads at the top of the page. Depending on what you're searching for, you might see all these, you might see videos at the top, you might see maps, you might see people also ask. There's more and more real estate of the search engine's results page, especially page 1, that's being taken up by all these different features. And the organic, unpaid, natural results are being pushed down. Now, as we talked about in a video, might have been a couple of weeks ago, might have been less than that, but we talked about why Google made these changes. Basically, their Q1, they made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, they made a ton of money off of AdWords, but they didn't make as much as the shareholders, the stockholders, wanted to see. They missed the mark just a little bit. So they are taking no chances in this quarter, in Q2, probably in Q3 too. And so they added more ad space to the search engine results pages. So is it a pay-to-play world? As we talked about in the other video, Yelp, they're doing the same thing. They're not hitting their revenue targets, so they added, for some results, depending on what it is, if it's competitive, if you're in a competitive city and it's a competitive search like HVAC or electrical or plumbing, you're going to see like 10 sponsored results before you even get to the organic results. So these platforms are really making a play for putting you in front of customers or potential customers, prospects, if you pay them enough money. And the thing of it is a lot of these directories and these marketplaces like, Yelp, Home Advisor, thomasnet, sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of them rank really well because if you're searching for whatever service it is in your city, those are a good result because they show a whole variety of listings. It's not just like one listing, 2 lists, this guy or this person or that team. It's a whole bunch of listings. So I'm going to say for the foreseeable future, we're kind of, the cycle is going back toward, it probably is a little bit of a pay-to-play situation. I know even in web design, it's the same thing. The 2 platforms in web design and marketing where you're going to see, you're going to see a lot of people rank, or you're going to see these 2 platforms rank, is UpCity and Clutch. And Clutch will put you at the top of their the page if you pay them. UpCity is a little bit more aggressive. They have different categories. It's similar to thomasnet. If you're in manufacturing, it's very similar to this, where they have all different categories, and the more you pay, they put all the sponsored results at the top, and the higher tier package that you're on, the higher you are up on the page. Now, if you search for web design or marketing or SEO in different cities, you will often see Clutch and UpCity near the top of the page. I think UpCity more for web design, Clutch a little bit more for like search marketing. But it's pay to play even in our thing, and getting leads. And I've talked to agency owners that say that they're paying out tons of money, but this is how they get leads. So it depends. What is your risk tolerance? How much you want to grow? Here's my advice. If you've done SEO and you're ranking fairly well organically, but you're not seeing the leads that you want to get, and this is very important, but if you have a good track record with reviews, if people seem to like your service, if they're happy with the service that you generally provide, if you get a lot of positive reviews, you don't really get negative reviews at all, then it might be good to either pump money into AdWords so that you're at the top of the page if you think that you're going to get good leads from it, because sometimes those leads from AdWords are not the best. It all depends. Sometimes it's like price shoppers, so do be careful with that. But it might make sense to invest in getting leads from 1 or 2 platforms and see how it goes. Now, I have talked to different people that have done thomasnet, and they've said that they didn't necessarily make their money back. I've talked to people that have done thomasnet, and they say that they get leads from thomasnet enough to cover their costs. So I guess it all depends. You really have to see what works for you. And that's really it. You have to see what works for your particular thing and give it a try. Same thing. I've talked to people who've done Yelp. I've talked to people who've done Home Advisor for like home services, contracting, stuff like that. And some people say like we get leads from Yelp. We get a lot of leads from it. And some people say they don't. Some people have done Home Advisor and they do really well. And some people are like, we tried it, we didn't make our money back from it. So just sometimes you have to step out and try different things. It's not always about SEO. Sometimes it's just about, like I said in the other video, doing the piggybacking off of these platforms. Sometimes you need to pay to get more money in the door. Now, if you know that you're going to convert these leads at a certain percentage, if you know that like 60 or 70 or 80% of the time that you're going to convert these leads into paying customers, then I would say go for it. If it is a thing where you put money in and you get money out and you're making a profit, then you should like ride that as hard as you can. If you are converting at a consistent rate and you're making money and you're making a profit, then there should be no limit to you putting that money in, and if you know that you're going to convert, because sometimes that's just what you need to do. And that's just being aggressive with digital marketing. Sometimes you need to step on the gas. Hope all this makes sense for the foreseeable future. AdWords is going to take up more spaces on the page, as we talked about in a previous video. Yelp has an antitrust lawsuit against Google, so they're always going to be featured very prominently in search results wherever possible. And some of these other platforms are always going to be on page 1 of Google, because it's just a smorgasbord of different service providers, and so that's a good result for the consumer. So definitely consider investing. That's all I have for this video. My name's John Locke. I'm here every single day making videos on SEO. So I would love to see you subscribe. Have a question, put it in comments below. That's all for now. Until next time, peace.